Political leadership in Africa. Where is the lie? Political leadership refers to the impact on decision-making and political outcomes that result from action by the holder of political office. It involves presidents, governors, MPs, and many more. A leadership style is a leader's method of providing directions, implementing plans, and motivating people. African style of leadership is characterized by the need to achieve and hold power. We prefer styles that are based on humanistic principles and desire more participative leadership that value individuality, authenticity, and serving the community. You can be a president in Africa by being voted for into power, which happens in countries like Kenya, or by overthrowing the sitting government the way President Yoweri Museveni did in Uganda. In Uganda, President Yoweri Museveni spearheaded rebellion with the aid of the then current military general Tito Okello and General Bell Trevor that brought down the Ugandan presidents Milton Obote and Idi Amin before he captured power in 1986. With his political party, the National Resistance Movement, during its 10-point program, debated and agreed to usher in a new and better future for the long-suffering people of Uganda. It promised a peaceful democratic future, freedom from corruption, and with a basic service and economic opportunity for all citizens. The 10-point program was about democracy, security, consolidation of national unity, and elimination of all forms of sectarianism, defending and consolidating national independence, building an independent, integrated, and self-sustaining national economy, restoration and improvement of social services and the rehabilitation of the war-ravaged areas, elimination of corruption and misuse of power, redressing errors that have resulted in the dislocation of sections of the population and improvement of others, cooperation with other African countries in defending human and democratic rights of our brothers in other parts of Africa, and following economic strategy of mixed economy. So far, many of these agendas have not been met. 30.1% of Ugandans now live below the poverty line of $1.77 per person per day. There is misuse of power. The president has stayed in power for 36 years. Recently, the president's son Muhoozi Kainerugaba tweeted about invading Kenya. A few days later, he was promoted to the position general. In President Museveni's reign, the lie is in almost all the pillars of his manifesto. In Kenya, during the late President Daniel Arap Moi's reign, there was no freedom of speech. People will be taken to the infamous Moi's torture chambers and they'll be beaten, jailed, or even murdered for speaking their mind. Multipartyism was prohibited too. There has been drought in Kenya since 2008, and the government has not brought solutions yet. Politicians and government employees are stealing funds that are supposed to help the poor Kenyan. There is a high rate of unemployment among the youths. Kenyans are living in very poor environments. They don't have access to clean water, hospitals, schools, and good housing. The lie in this is that almost all politicians come to the ground to campaign and they give Kenyans promises of bettering their future, but after they are elected, they fail to fulfill their promises. Over the years, since most African countries acquired their independence, the political leadership took advantage of its people. They blatantly engaged in corrupt practices, sinking the countries into debts. They lied about staying in power to stabilize the countries economically and politically, a promise that never came to fruition in most of the countries. Greed and eccentricity are the major causes of the political turmoil experienced in countries such as South Sudan and DRC. As youths and future leaders, what's our position? Do we maintain the status quo? Will we be bold enough to steer our countries out of this mess? Hi, I'm Aurelian Siumbua Atamba Mutua, and my dream is to represent my country, Kenya, as an ambassador in the future. Thank you.